Good morning. Today I come to you from the floor because that's where my body said it wants to be right now. And it works for what I'm about to share with you. So, today we're going to talk about sound and touch. Okay. So, touch is very important. And in self-compassion, there are gestures of self-compassion. And one of the gestures of self-compassion has to do with touching your face, holding your face. So, and taking a gentle breath. And that's wonderful. Oh, and notice how, as I'm breathing, I am doing a sighing exhale. And that's where sound comes in. Sound can be very healing. I'm doing some exploring with that, with music that is supposed to be healing based on its hertz level, based on the hertz. I'm not an expert, but I know I'm enjoying listening to some of that healing music. And there is also something about us making sound, us vocalizing, us that is healing. And I think this is especially true for folks who feel like they didn't have a voice in the past, where they felt like they couldn't speak up, they couldn't speak, they couldn't share their thoughts, their feelings, that today making noise, making sound can be very healing. The simplest way is the big sighing breath. So you just inhale and sigh it out. Big ah. I find that to be very relaxing, very de-stressing. And you can combine, like hold your face gently. Don't grab your face. It just feels nice. And that's what we want. We need to put a little more restfulness and relaxation into our lives. The other thing that you can do, the other thing that holding your face does, is we have something in our body called the vagus nerve. I won't go into all the explanations of it. It is a very important nerve that runs through our whole body. It has to do with rest and digest. It has to do with making connections. It has to do with being, it's a radiant circuit, as one trainer called it. It affects everything. It affects our well-being in big ways. And this vagus nerve, when you behind your ears is part of where it is activated. So if you put your palms together and put your, I use my middle finger right up behind your ears, and put your hands on your throat, you are activating your vagus nerve. And it feels, it's like, that feels interesting. So you do that, and then you can add sound. Now, as I've been researching, Om is the Sanskrit sound for God, for the divine. And that's why, Om is used in a lot of meditation, and that's why. And you sound it as long as you want to, but if you do that as you're holding your throat, and it activates the vagus nerve, which activates that rest and digest. And do it as many times as you like. When I was recently researching Um, I've been having some issues with swallowing and choking, like when I'm breathing or drinking liquids, and I'm like, okay, this is silly. And as I was doing some research, one of the things it they talked about was to strengthen your throat, and so I've started to do some of the sounding, some of the om and the chanting and it's been better. And I think, again, for those of us that may have felt in the past like we didn't have a voice, we couldn't speak, I think the idea of strengthening your throat and your voice is really important. And and toning, chanting, sighing also strengthens the vagus nerve, which is about which is about rest and digest. Okay, there's your daily drip. Touch, vagus nerve, sound, strengthening your throat, strengthening yourself. See y'all tomorrow.